Hello, my name is Chloe. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to Vlogmas day 9? I think we're on day 9, but if anything's moved around, that's going to sound really stupid. Today we have the There Are 10 But book tag. I was tagged in this by Amelia from Amelia Barlow Books, and I believe the original tag was created by Charlotte at Coiny Reads and Kieran from KD Books. There are 6 questions to talk about, and it's the kind of spin-off of those memes that's There Are 10 But whatever, but the book version, obviously. I was very happy to be tagged in this, so thank you very much, Amelia, but let's just roll on. I don't know what I mean. Let's just get cracking with the questions. So the first one is, there are 10, but they're over 500 pages long, and I have gone for A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. I feel like it's been a long time since I talked about the ACOTAR series. It's definitely been a while since I read it. I read them in January of 2021, this one particularly. And yeah, this is one of the best books I have ever read, but it is a whopper. We're talking in excess of 600 pages, which, to be honest, it looks huge anyway because it's this big hardback. I'm sure that you all know what the ACOTAR series is about. I actually don't know how much to say that's not a spoiler. I don't want to say anything, okay? So I'm not going to spoil anything just in case. But I am definitely due a reread of this series very soon, and I still haven't finished the Throne of Glass series. But this book is genuinely one of my favourite reads of all time. Definitely a 10. Could it be shorter? No, because then we'd miss things. But it is kind of long. Next up is There Are 10, but they're on pre-order. And for this one, I've gone for Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo. So I won't lie, I didn't quite know what to say about this. I don't know what Hellbent is going to be like. But Hellbent is the sequel to Ninth House, which is another of my favourite books of all time. And I am deadly ready to read this book. I need to read it immediately. I believe it comes out at the start of January, so next month. Wow, okay, maybe let's not put too many big plans on how quick I'm reading this. But Ninth House is one of my favorite books of all time. It's about a girl called Alex who starts to do some work for some strange investigating the secret societies of Yale. I've been out of the reading world for so long, I seem to just be studying and not reading, so I've forgotten all words to do with all books. It is a dark academia with some weird death spiritual elements. I don't know, I just really want to read it despite the freaky cover. Next up is There Are 10, but they're a red flag, and I have gone for Crave by Tracy Wolff. I love this book with my whole heart. I've read the first 3 now. I didn't love the 3rd as much, but I did love number 2. And this series is a complete red flag. First, down to the fact it has deckled edges, which we're never going to like deckled edges. But also, it's just all of the stereotypes, all of the tropes. We have Twilight references in here. I should probably say what it's about, shouldn't I? This is a school for supernaturals, and our main character, Grace, she loses her parents and she goes to this school because her uncle is the head teacher, but she has no knowledge of the supernatural world, and even when in the school she does not know that these people are not normal. Yeah, then it turns into like a Twilight fan fiction for about 100 pages. Then some even crazier stuff starts happening. And I mean, the whole series so far has been a red flag. Like, even a line from the book, this is page 23, promise you it's not a spoiler. It says, because seriously, when exactly did I become the heroine in some YA romance? The new girl swooning over the hottest, most unattainable boy in school? Gross. And so not happening. Red flags, but I love it. Next up, we have There Are 10, but they're over 100 years old. I've gone for Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. So I haven't actually reread this book physically. I've listened to the audiobook and I love it. It's my favourite classic. But saying that, I don't really do classics. So being my favourite classic, what does that mean? I feel like this one should be There Are 5, but they could be a 10, but they're over 100 years old. Yeah, I'm not really sure how I feel about classics. Classics are a really strange, I guess, genre to me, because I really struggle with the older language. I struggle to get really into the stories, but on audio, I swoon for Mr. Darcy every time. So I just need to do this. I need to grab this book by the horns and actually actually read it physically and love it like I know I will, but that's just a project for another day. Next up, we have There Are 10, But They Were Studied in School, and I've gone for The Woman in Black by Susan Hill. This one, I actually feel like I've defeated the point of the question, because I enjoy this book potentially more because I read it in school, which I know is controversial. But this is a really cool ghost story. I'm sure everybody has seen the movie with Daniel Radcliffe. This is about our young lawyer solicitor, who is summoned to Eelmarsh House, which is where Alice Drablow, an old woman, has died, and Arthur Kipps needs to sort out her estate. And Eelmarsh House is very clearly haunted, and there's something going on in the town. It's all a bit spooky. This is a very short book. It is less than 200 pages. When I read it, I never love it to the full extent, but there are quotes in this that genuinely like make my heart feel full, and I just enjoy them so completely that I feel like I'll never stop reading this book. And I did really enjoy studying it in school. I found it so interesting to look into the potentially deeper meanings of the book. Like, just because the curtains are blue, does it mean that it's upsetting or depressing? No, but I feel like Susan Hill had some images going on here. I had a full essay once about how the rocking chair, rocking with nothing in it, was the absence of a child from the circle of life. And I really got into this book in school. I was a proper English lit nerd and I loved it so much. So yes, I do need to read this again. I haven't read it since August of 2021, which is at this point just awful of me. I need to read it again. And last but not least, we have There Are 10, But They Leave You With Emotional Damage, and I have gone for It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. I will never stop recommending this book for pure emotional damage. It hurt me, I sobbed, and I can't believe I haven't read It Starts With Us yet. This book follows Lily, who meets Ryle on a rooftop, and it's about their budding romance. And I don't know how much to say without spoilers. It's so hard not to spoil this book. But yes, it is about a young woman building her life, a arrogant guy coming in and deciding whether she wants to start some form of relationship with him, and then just kind of the realities of life and how everything is not as perfect as it seems. And this book had me full-blown sobbing. I read it on sprints way back when. I don't even know when it would be now, but it was a long time ago, and it broke my heart. So this one will leave your heart in splinters. If it doesn't, I don't know what to say to you. But there we are, that is all the questions of the tag. Thank you again to Amelia for tagging me, and now I need to find some people to tag. So the first person I'm going to tag is Victoria from What Victoria Read, and I'm going to do what she does and go through my YouTube history and pick out who I've been watching, and I will tag them to do this tag. So I think Shah from Thoroughly Enjoyed Books has already been tagged, but if she hasn't, crack on. Gem from Bookish Gems. Wow, I've really just been watching Studying Music. I don't know if Rachel's doing tags anymore, but if she is, Rachel from Rachel Carris. Lorena from Sunshine Lorena. And the last person I'm going to tag is Emily from Emily Kathleen Reads. So I hope at least one of them has not already done this tag, or at least wants to do this tag, but we will see. On that note though, thank you so much for watching this video. I really do hope you enjoyed, and I will see you again tomorrow. Bye.